Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Product of that flip phone, my bitch got that shit on. You can't get a table, I know the chef down that Carbone. You tough, come get this tombstone. Polite, I got that root on. We came 3 deep, pet boys, we got them tools on. How you compare to me? So pretentious when you can't get it. Same niggas when they do get it, wanna act like they the man with it. You don't like me, be a man with it. When shit get deep, you gon' stand in it. Gun so big, kickstand with it. Be humble, bitch, use a fan with it. These niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Louis V chancletas, for the plug is named Fernando. My chicken came with 2 extra sides, welcome to Nando's. I know the plug, shit in my system from work I handled. Teddy bears, t-shirts and candles, stay with your handle. Pushing 40, can't name a time I scrambled like Randall. Off a pinch of residue, they leave your key dismantled. How you compare to me? Trappers morphed and shit they wouldn't dare to be. Alive at 21, we couldn't dare to see. I'd rather pull the trigger, cause them numbers the same. Off a conspiracy, they call me Mr. Brunson in the bank, financial literacy. These niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on, saying that I fell off.
Yeah, hey, I ain't never been on, but still saying I fell off. Condition naughty, hoe come get it, dig it, something like Pavlov. Taking off my shirt, fell to her knees, I make her heart stop. She ain't hitting with her bust down, I put her in a plain one. My slime keep catching bodies, told her go and see the real one. My slime keep catching bodies, I said boy just let me get one.
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. The season starts today. The season starts today. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, I gotta let you know that this video is brought to you by Sleeper. Get your free $20 entry, no deposit needed. All you gotta do is use code LBSBMVP. You see it right here, and we're gonna match you up to $100 on your first deposit match when you use Sleeper. Download it. Everybody been cashing out all week. All season. You see various content creators with the Sleeper app and giveaways for you guys. That's because they know to come to us to get y'all the information. So tap in with Sleeper, man, whenever you get the chance, man. Yeah, man, the season starts now. You know, that's how I'm feeling going into this week, man. You know, the Philadelphia Eagles, we have stumbled the last 2 games, however you want to put it. We have not looked our best the last 2 games, however you want to put it. But we have put ourselves in a thankful position that we were able to put in the work. We were able to put in the work in the beginning of the season to put us in a favorable situation right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got to win, but we started strong. We stumbled throughout, and now it's time to finish strong and go out there and properly defend this title. So as of right now, the Philadelphia Eagles have a 95% chance. A 95% chance of, in fact, winning or going to the playoffs. That probably entails winning the division. We have a lot of tiebreakers, a lot of things that went our way. And, you know, the Dallas Cowboys are creeping up behind us. We're not going to act like that. That's not a thing for us. But when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, last matchups, you know, and listen, I wouldn't have it no other way, man, to be honest, bro. I wouldn't have it no other way. I don't care what nobody else is talking about, man. I wouldn't have it no other way, man. When you look at the Cowboys last 5 games, Detroit, Minnesota, Chargers, Washington, New York Giants, Eagles. We got the Chargers, the Raiders, Washington, Buffalo, Washington. You know what I mean? Ours is probably more challenging. But we already played Detroit. We beat Detroit. We beat Minnesota. We didn't play Washington at all yet, and we split with the Giants. So it's kind of the same schedule with the exception of these guys not having Buffalo due to the first place schedule down the stretch. But it's time to handle business. No game is a give me. No game is a give me, man. We kind of thought of a lot of teams as layups. You know what I mean? We lost a few layups, but then at the same time, we won some tough games that people didn't expect us to win. So, I mean, how do you want it, man? How do you want it? We beat the Detroits. We beat the Rams. We beat the Buccaneers. We beat the guys that a lot of people were saying they were tough matchups. We split with the Dallas Cowboys. We split with, you know what I mean, the New York Giants. I think you got to sweep Washington, though, down the stretch. And I think that's something that we will do. But we handled business against tough teams. We just kind of stumbled. We kind of stumbled against some opponents that we shouldn't have stumbled to. We should have beat the Bears, but the Bears turned out to be a good team this year. 8-3 going into that matchup. We should have beat the Cowboys being up 21-0, but none of that matters right now. What matters is that we are still very much alive and very much in contention for the number 1 seed. When you look at this this is the way I look at this, man. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. Nobody is going out there and saying, hey, I want it. This is mine for the taking. I am going to assert myself as that team. No, man. In my opinion, man, we still the best team in the NFC, and it still has to go through us. Nobody has stepped up and definitively taken that from us yet. So it is what it is, bro. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is, man. You know what I mean? I don't care how we get to the number 1 seed. That's what we need. We have a historical different schedule. You know what I mean? No back-to-back home games. Our only way to achieve that is by getting into winning the division and hoping the seeds shake up that we remain the number 1 seed and people have to come see us, or going to get that number 1 seed and making sure the road comes through Philadelphia. So there's many ways to skin this here cat. We won the Super Bowl without the number 1 seed last year. So you don't need a number 1 seed. You win your division and you let the chips fall. Let the chips fall where they're going to fall. Let them fall where they're going to fall, man. I heard some stuff about Justin Herbert today. Just want to run this by y'all. I'm pretty sure you guys have been privy. You know what I mean? I'm back in the lab, man. I'm back in the lab. Thanksgiving break is over. You know what I mean? Thanksgiving break is over. We are back to our regularly scheduled program. Justin Herbert has, I believe, he has had surgery on his non-throwing hand, from what I was reading. And that surgery took place today, but that's not going to stop him from playing because, like I said, it is his non-throwing hand. And it could be some soreness. It could be whatever. I don't care. That seems like advantage us. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day going in, and we got to be able to be on his ass because we've seen a lot of guys, you know, almost kind of carve us up. Last week was alarming for me, especially because, you know, it was extremely windy and Caleb Williams and Jalen Hurts was missing throws. It was windy out there. It was windy. Even Caleb Williams with his big arm, you know what I mean? He was having some difficulty completing some fairly easy passes due to the conditions. But what they had was 200-yard rushers, bro. 200-yard rushers. You need the run game in situations like that, bro. Whether it has to come from your quarterback or whether it has to come from your running back, the Philadelphia Eagles need to generate some type of ground game and keep the defense honest. We see a little uptick in design runs for Jalen Hurts, but, you know, we need more, bro. We need to bring out everything that we do good, and we need to focus on doing good, man. We need to focus on doing good. I'm very extremely optimistic moving forward. I'm not here to talk about no blame. I don't care who anybody believes played bad. None of that is for me. None of that conversation is for me, man. Long gone are the days where I sit up here and defend Jalen Hurts. I kind of understand defending him after losing the Super Bowl. You kind of got to defend the guy, but I'm not sitting here defending no Super Bowl MVP, man. I'm not defending him against hate, nor am I defending him against himself. You know what I mean? I know what he's capable of. I know he could play better. And I'm not listening to nobody saying that Jalen Hurts need to be benched or Jalen Hurts isn't a starting quarterback in his league. He played in 2 Super Bowls, man. I'm not listening to guys who haven't experienced the joy that I experienced covering your favorite team during a Super Bowl run. They don't know shit about that. So like their views are skewed and their views are different on how we perceive this team. We know we got to be better. The blame, it's a portion of the football team that's not getting the blame it deserves, I feel like. I hate to even say that. But when your offensive line is playing as poor as the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line is, in terms of running the ball for sure, then it's like you're one-dimensional. You can't run the ball. We had a 100-yard rusher one time this year, bro, with a quarterback who averaged 70 yards in Super Bowls. He averaged 70 rushing yards in Super Bowls. We had a guy that ran for 2,000 yards last year, and he only ran for 100 yards one time this year. Saquon Barkley is damn near mauled in the back alley, in the backfield, every running play, bro. That sets this team at an extreme disadvantage. Then you pile on the penalties. Thank God your quarterback hasn't turned the ball over that much this year. Thank God. I mean, he had 2 turnovers last Friday, but thank God that your quarterback hasn't turned the ball over at the rate some of these other guys do. This is the bottom line, man. This is the bottom line. Jalen Hurts is 12th in passing yards and 6th in passing touchdowns, man. If we had a competent offensive line, a competent offensive coordinator, this would be one of Jalen Hurts' best seasons of his career. But so many things got to line up for your quarterback to achieve this type of regular season success that everybody wants us to achieve. I don't care if we mid our way to the first seed. I know when we get in the playoffs, when it's win or go home, I know what I got in the backfield, bro. I know the quarterback I got. I know the weapons that my quarterback got. I know the team that we have. So it's not even like hope. It's just like, I just know I've seen this before, bro. One of the most winningest quarterbacks since he came in the league. I don't understand what these other platforms get out of shitting on him, but I mean, actually, I do. I actually do understand what these other guys get out of talking bad about him. You know, they get the clicks. Talking about the offensive line is not attractive. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you keep tabs on all the content creators turning on Jalen. Of course, I got a bunch of receipts. And this ain't, listen, man, and this ain't, and this ain't no shot at nobody or nothing like that, man. This is me keeping it a beam, because I see people that pop up out of nowhere. I see people that be having the most to talk and the most to say, and they say these things. And some of these things are like, what are you talking about? Like it's certain things that I don't understand. You see, he called me an old head. You old heads be frying me, dog. Just be chatting. Stop making excuses. This is in reference to this guy saying that Jalen Hurts missed the throw against the Bears game. So what his tweet was, I saw Stafford make that same throw in the blizzard. Come on, Jalen, my dog, but I saw Stafford make that same throw in the blizzard. These are the things that these content creators say to be cozy with the ops. Look, LB don't got no friends. LB don't got no friends, bro. My only friends in this thing is guys you see me consistently collabing with. Consistently. If you see me on the screen consistently with them, then you could consider them a friend that I got in here. I don't need to appease the masses, bro. Being me and being real is why I'm in the position that I'm in, to be able to have my opinion mean something. This is Jalen Hurts is my dog, but Jalen Hurts, I saw Stafford make that same throw in the blizzard. Basically saying, why couldn't Jalen Hurts do it? Listen, man, the wind speed was double in the Bears game than which it was in the game that it snowed, where we beat the Rams. The wind speed was double in that game. But nobody want to do the research. They just want to do things so people will get under the comments and say, yeah, you're right. You're a Lakers and a Sixers fan. We are not the same type of content creator, bro. We're not. Although the Sixers make me vomit. That's my team. See, rooting for the Eagles just became cool for some of these guys. Where was they at when it was dark? It was dark. I didn't see his face during the collapse like that. I didn't see his face, and I wouldn't even be bringing him up had he not got too big for his bridges early in the season and mentioned me. See, I don't believe on eagle crime. Y'all know I don't believe on eagle crime. But I think he start thinking that he was somebody, and he start thinking that he could talk to people like he's somebody. No, you ain't nobody to me, champ. You ain't. You don't even know. Look at the smile on your face. It's just different, man. It's just different, man. They all will turn their back because it's the popular thing to do. Understand, it was me and a few crackheads wearing Hurt season hats when I came out with them. It was me and a few people who didn't care about the vision. They just needed a hat on their head. They just needed a hat on their head. I understand how the game go. Then when Hurt show you it is what it is, come on, man. Then the things won't stay on the shelf. You know what I mean? Great that you don't hide in turmoil, LB. This is what haters want you to do. I have a feeling we're beating the Chargers. We're going to beat the Chargers. I'm telling you, we're going to beat the Chargers. We're going to beat the Chargers. You see how weird the podcast Shady and Acho have pinned all the Eagle stuff, but nothing about other teams? They don't do that. When I first started this, it was guys like Desert Eagle around. Shout out Desert Eagle. It was guys like Desert Eagle around when I started doing this. You know what I'm saying? It was guys like Desert Eagle around. It wasn't these new guys who found it to be cool to talk about a team while they have success. I have respect for Cowboys content creators because they know they ain't going nowhere and they going to keep making them videos, bro. They might be living off the nostalgia of their pop, of their granddaddy, but they going to keep making them videos, bro. They're not making the playoffs this year, but they are happy. They are proud. They are, in fact, jumping for joy. I respect that, though. I don't respect turning your back on the Super Bowl MVP, bro. I don't respect it. Matthew Stafford had 3 turnovers, y'all. 3 turnovers yesterday. I watched him have 3, a pick 6, an interception in the red zone, and a fumble during a game-winning drive. Nobody came out there with them tweets. Nobody, bro. I didn't see the masses come out there with the tweets. I didn't see the film breakdowns and all of this stuff. I just didn't see it. I didn't see the film breakdowns on what he should have did differently. They don't do that for guys like him. You know what they do? They give him grace because he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. But Jalen Hurts is as well. Jalen Hurts is as well. Nobody talks about Josh Allen turnovers. Nobody. Jalen Hurts threw his 2nd interception on Black Friday. Shout out to Matt Stafford for throwing 28 touchdowns before he threw his last interceptions. 28 touchdowns. That's a hell of a streak. You know who is second in that streak? Jalen Hurts. He only got 2 touchdowns. He only got 2 interceptions. Jalen Hurts has the 2nd longest streak this year. The 2nd longest streak this year. I respect Jalen Hurts, and I'm going to always be a Jalen Hurts fan because it wasn't given to him, bro. Stafford bags were given to him before he ever won a Super Bowl. Justin Herbert bag was given to him off of potential. Tua got paid off potential. Dak got paid off a broken promise and potential. What it could potentially be. Jalen Hurts didn't get paid until he took you to a Super Bowl, bro. Jalen Hurts didn't get paid until he got the job done, until he got you to the promised land. And then you knew you could win with him for sure. That's when he got paid. Lamar Jackson got paid off of potential. Josh Allen was paid off of potential. None of these guys got paid because they won a championship. That's what Jalen Hurts did. So I can't listen to anything. And then you go on Twitter. And then you see film breakdowns from Cowboys fans. You see a film breakdown from Okoye Media. Where's it at? Shout out to Okoye. You see a film breakdown from Okoye Media, bro. But you don't see a single film breakdown. A single film. Here, go right here, Okoye Media. You don't see a single film breakdown on any of the mishaps of Dak Prescott from these Cowboys content creators. You don't see a single film breakdown on that. So this is my question. And this is my question for y'all. This is how I feel about stuff like this before we move on. Why on God's green earth would I listen to a film breakdown about Jalen Hurts from a Cowboys content creator, bro? Jalen Hurts winning that Super Bowl broke everything they thought they knew. Why would I ever listen to a film breakdown from a biased content creator? There's no such thing as an objective Cowboys content creator. They believe Dak Prescott is better. They believe all of this stuff in their mind. So why would I believe a film breakdown from them guys? It's rooted in biasness. People are arguing with Kurt Warner. People are arguing with Kurt Warner about the pass where Jalen missed Smitty, bro. They're arguing with an MVP quarterback, bro. These guys think they bigger than the program, but they never had film breakdown from their team in the Super Bowl. Why they ain't break down Jalen Hurts' Super Bowl film? Why they ain't break down his NFC championship? Why they ain't break down none of his playoff win Super Bowl? Why ain't break none of that down? Why? Why didn't they break none of that down? They can't break it down because it hurts. All they can do is break down stuff like this. They ain't break down the second half of the Rams game. They'll never do that. Break down Dak playoff losses against San Fran. I've been asking for that for years. They won't do it. Hurts definitely has some bad plays, but acting like it was D-Lo sent me this. Acting like it was a shit show was crazy. How we won, we wouldn't even be saying he was awful if we won. We'd be saying there's things to clean up because that's every week. So let's look at some of the plays from the Bears game. Let's look at it. It's really not. It really doesn't even matter at this point, to be honest. But let's look at it. And this is a great video. I looked at it earlier. Short video on some things. Correct decision, RPO. Correct decision, ball just dies. Maybe to win. Bad pass to win. No one open. LT falls down. Quarterback bails. Mailata got treated. Jalen had to run out. Nobody open anyway. Accurate on time of completion. Good throw. Accurate on time completion. Miscommunication incomplete. This is the Smitty one. That's cool. Correct decision, accurate pass. Perhaps easier option, 2nd and 11, yet a great pass. Tight end tries to one-handed incomplete. Correct decision, no one else open. Two wide receivers in the same spot. Likely causing 11 to stop. Yeah, I hated that play. I actually hated that one. It's like guys are all over the place. Correct decision, accurate on time, offensive pass interference. On AJ, yeah, I remember that. Nothing open at drop back. Quarterback senses pressure, has a wide receiver over the middle, doesn't take it. Yeah, he should have threw that. Running back not ready for pass, incompletion, drop. Yeah, Saquon wasn't even that one went nowhere anyway. QB locked on tight end, pressure calls, errant throw. Better ball placement, yeah. But this the moral of the story for me, man. The moral of the story is you can't have, bro. Who's throwing 100% completion percentage? Who's doing it? Shout out my guy Vach. He said Brunson is the best villain in the business. Respect. I don't even try to be the villain, Vach. It's just natural. It is just natural. But who's completing every single shout out Vach, man? One of the best Cowboys content creators, man. I'm pretty sure y'all following him. But who's completing every pass every game, bro? Like Philadelphia sports media makes it easy for everybody else to jump down our throats. Pause. They make it easy, bro. We got to listen to guys like Dan Sileo. I don't know when he became so important to the culture. Like why don't we just stop listening to him? WIP is just as toxic as it gets. WIP is like a bitter baby mom. They act like Jalen Hurts did something to him. Then you got mainstream media. Everybody is using, but this is what happens when you the hunted though, bro. But in a weird way, it was happening before we won the Super Bowl to Jalen Hurts. The criticism, is he this, is he that? Can he do this? Can he do that? When you prove people wrong, man, they always going to come for you, man. They always going to come for you when you prove people wrong. They always going to come for you. So what we need to do is we need to embrace the villain. It's a couple things we need to do. First of all, let's start by this. Let's start by not running the tush push on 3rd and 1 ever again. Ever again. I don't want to see the tush push ran on 3rd and 1. Do you know teams run actual plays on 3rd and 1? Do you know how bad your offense has to be for you to run a tush push twice in a row to get 1 yard, bro? Why are we even doing that? Why don't we line up in a power formation? Why don't we throw the ball on 3rd and 1, then go for the tush push on 4th and 1? Why don't we take a shot on 3rd and 1 with play action? Why don't we line up heavy and take a shot? Confuse the defense. Why are we? It's just, bro, the tush push is the main fault. The tush push is our best play, bro. The tush push is our best play. And that's not even working. That's not even working. A.J. Brown's route tree last week was immaculate. It was one of the best route trees that I've seen from A.J. Brown all season. It was one of the best route trees that I've seen from A.J. Brown all season, and I think we got to keep that up. It was a lot of crossing routes across the middle of the field. It actually reminded me of a George Pickens route tree. It really reminded me of the route trees that I see from George Pickens this year. Just getting them across the field, man, letting them be physical, letting him go up for the ball. It actually reminded me of that. And, you know, I admired that. You know what I mean? I understand that. I love that. And that's how the Philadelphia Eagles need to create separation for A.J. Brown. The go ball thing, yeah, it works from time to time. But when you got a guy like A.J. Brown, or you got a wide receiver like Devontae Smith, get them running across the formation to stress some of these zones. Like, we're just not doing common sense things, bro. We're not doing common sense things. And Nick Sirianni is willing to die on this hill of Kevin Patullo. It makes no sense. Bro, Darius Slay has been a healthy scratch for weeks. Kellen Moore and the Saints are out of playoff contention. Mekhi Becton is just getting benched all over the place. We should have kept the boys together, man. They're not having a good time over there, bro. CJ on his 3rd team damn near this year. But you know what I mean? CJ is also out here doing what he got to do, bro. Doing what he got to do. I think more need to be said about CJ Gardner-Johnson going to teams and getting and having the defense play better. Everywhere he go, that people play better. You know what I mean? Kenny Collins, thank you for the super chat. I think getting out of the huddle faster will help the offense. It's like every play they get out the huddle with less than 10 seconds, giving them no time to read the defense. I agree with that. I agree with that assessment. I would like to see us run tempo. You know what I mean? I would like to see us run a little tempo. I mean, we have to, man. We have to speed it up, bro. Listen, bro, we're going to go 3 and out. Let's go 3 and out in 10 seconds. Shit. You know what I mean? Why waste more time? If we just going to keep going 3 and out and not doing nothing, let's do that as fast as possible. The defense already get tired, bro. And I hated this portion of last week's game. People act like people want to blame Vic Fangio, bro. You expect the defense to play at an elite level every week? We lead the league in 3 and outs. I see people turning on Jalen Carter. These guys, where were these guys? Where were these guys when I had 2,000 subs? Where were these guys? Where were these guys when we was ringless peasants? Where were these guys the year I started? We had no rings that year. Where were these guys? Running around here talking about, I'd be petrified if I gave Jalen Carter $40 million. You know what? I'd be petrified if you stop making content. I'd be petrified if you stop going to games and stop making content. I wouldn't be petrified. I'd be elated. I'd be happy. It's nothing worse than seeing somebody that's just here for a good time. It's nothing worse than seeing somebody that's just here for a good time. You don't got to be from Philly to be an Eagles fan, bro. Let me start with that. But you're not going to act like you so diehard. But first of all, it's a certain temperament of the city, bro. It's a certain temperament of the city, man. It's a certain temperament of the city. We don't really quit on the team. We've been like that since I was born. The fan base don't really quit on the team. I'm not used to the landscape of things that I'm seeing from some of these guys and gals that's running around here right now. We don't really quit, though, especially when it's something to fight for. We don't turn on Super Bowl MVP quarterbacks. We don't. I mean, it's the first time we done had a franchise quarterback be Super Bowl MVP. We don't really do the things that we don't do this. We've had worse teams, bro. We've had worse teams. We've had worse teams and we treated them better. This is a team that's trying to repeat. I just don't get it, man. Nothing is going to change because the coaching staff is still here. They don't know what they're doing, dude. I have no hope going forward. And I'm not mad at you for thinking that. I'm not mad at you for thinking that, bro. I'm not mad at you for thinking that because Nick Sirianni is saying that we're going to evaluate everything all across the board. Bro, what are you talking like that for, bro? We 8-4, bro. Stop trying. What do he do? What do he do? What does he do, bro? If Kevin Patullo catch a cold and Kevin Patullo can't come to work Monday, if Kevin can't make the flight, his wife have a baby on Monday, who gonna call the plays? Is Nick Sirianni gonna call the plays? All we hear Nick Sirianni say is he's not making a change at play caller. This butt buddy shit is in the way. It's in the way, bro. The offense is bad. The offense is bad. People leaking information to reporters who are salivating at the bit. These reporters wish they could have 600 people in the chat. Listen to them. But in order for them to get that, they got to throw out a juicy story. They got to throw out a juicy story. So what do? They use the team as bait. They use the team as bait, bro. They use the team as bait, man. Jalen Hurts is the best Eagles quarterback in franchise history, bro. The guy is like what? The guy got like a 7-3 playoff record, 6-2, something like that, playoff record, a Super Bowl MVP, been to the Super Bowl twice. Been to the Super Bowl twice, man. 2-0 in NFC championship games. McNabb don't do stuff like that, bro. So I think that these guys criticize Jalen Hurts, especially some of the ex-players, because it's like that's the best thing that they could do. Listen, man. Shady McCoy can't tell us nothing about how to repeat a title, bro. Shady McCoy don't even understand the problems that we going through, bro. He was never the main character on a Super Bowl team, bro. He was never the main character on a Super Bowl team, bro. Never the main character, bro. When you talking about AJ, Smitty, and Jalen, you know what I'm saying? You talking about guys that have an early Hall of Fame resume. Shady is a Ring of Honor bull. And there's nothing wrong that Shady is an Eagles Hall of Famer. An Eagles Hall of Famer bull. That's what Shady is, bro. Deshaun Jackson, I love these guys, bro. Especially when I was a younger Eagles fan. I love these guys. These guys can't tell us nothing about the issues that we're having right now. Nothing. Nothing. The only one that I ain't really hear say nothing crazy and try to, in a way, uplift the team still was Malcolm Jenkins. These guys who've done nothing for us besides give us hope. They never achieved the ultimate goal. They never won a Super Bowl, bro. Vic don't be saying nothing, bro. But some of these guys who thought that they just had the city so lit by like not even winning in the playoffs for real. Some of them got to be supportive and just be quiet, bro. For real, they got to be supportive and just be quiet, bro. Seriously, bro. You don't have no advice to get. What can Deshaun Jackson tell AJ Brown, who's played in 2 Super Bowls, bro? What can he tell Smitty, who's played in 2 Super Bowls, bro? What? I heard Jeffrey met with KP twice. This week? Did you hear that this week? John Maker, thank you for the super chat. I think Nick is scared of pressure of calling plays. That's why he won't fire Kevin. Well, then, I mean, listen, bro. Listen. Something got to shake, bro, because we can't find the Eagles need to find an offensive coordinator that loves being an offensive coordinator, not one that's just looking at us as a stepping stone. Because they're saying Kevin Patullo names in head coaching realms. I don't see Kevin Patullo getting a head coaching job. So that means if he don't get a head coaching job, he might be back as the coordinator, bro. He might be back. LB, have you seen Foles' take on fixing the issues? I think he has some good ideas. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen Nick Foles' takes on fixing the issues. Alshon, Jenkins, Kelsey, BJ, all back Hurts. They got to back him. But like I said, I'm not mad at none of the old legends that we got, man. I ain't mad at it, but the stuff they saying is not going to help this team get on track. It's like they're also wanting. Shady said that he's not sure if Jalen Hurts is going to get extended, but was tweeting up a storm when we was up 21-0 in Dallas. was tweeting up a storm when we was up 21-0 in Dallas. How many halves are the Eagles going to play that look like Jekyll and Hyde? How many tails or 2 halves are we going to... Bro, we had to come back down 3 scores in the second half against the Rams. We didn't score. We didn't throw a single completed pass in the second half against the Bucs. How many times are we going to have to defy the odds? How many times are we going to defy the odds, bro? And have to play bad in the first half and have heroics in the second half. Have heroics in the first half and play bad in the second half, and then play conservative and try to hang on to a win. Bro, that's not real football, bro. If you lead the league in 3 and outs and you have a half of football on your resume where you didn't complete a single pass, and you have multiple scoreless halves. Multiple scoreless halves. We didn't score in the second half against Dallas. I think we had a scoreless half against the Broncos. You need to fire your offensive coordinator. Multiple scoreless second halves and first halves. Leading the league in 3 and outs. How is that a quarterback issue, bro? We never led the league in 3 and outs any other year, Jalen. Mind you, Jalen's been our quarterback for 5-6 years now. We never led the league in 3 and outs then. And you got a quarterback who's not even throwing interceptions, bro. You got a quarterback when he takes the snap, there's nobody. He's looking around like these guys routes are on top of each other. Routes have poor spacing. And I'm not no film guru, bro, but some of the route concepts just simply don't make sense to me. So to see other guys break down Eagles film, and it makes so much sense to them, like Cowboys content creators, to see these guys go out their way to break down Eagles film 2 weeks after we played, it makes no sense because I know a lot of them guys are really smart. That's why I would never trust a film breakdown from a Cowboys content creator, bro. I won't do it because it's rooted in biasness. They shouldn't trust the Cowboys film breakdown from me either because it would be rooted in bias. But I've been keeping it very real this football season about certain stuff all across the National Football League. But since I got a knack of being the villain or making people laugh or making people uncomfortable, they think it's a troll job, but I'm just keeping it a bean. I'm keeping it a bean. I'm keeping it a bean. This is the biggest game of the year for the Philadelphia Eagles, bro. The Rams lost. The Cowboys needed a bunch of teams to lose last week or this Sunday, and they all won. They needed the Panthers to lose. I think they needed San Fran to lose. They might have needed the Cardinals to lose. All of these teams won that they needed to lose. It is in our favor. It is in our hands. What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it, bro? What are we going to do about it? Does Nick Foles want to come in here and give a crack at calling plays? Does he? Does he? We need a play caller bad, bro. We gave the keys to the Lamborghini to a guy who just a New York City cab driver, bro. He don't know nothing. He can't even drive a stick. We gave the V12 keys to a guy who can't even ride a bike, man. And we expected this offense to fly. There's no way Kevin Patullo should be this bad being around this team this many years, bro. We won the Super Bowl. Laurie, bro, if Laurie is meeting with the offensive coordinator multiple times, Jeffrey Lurie is throwing Jalen Hurts under the bus, bro. That's his only option. Jeffrey Lurie's only option right now is to throw Jalen Hurts under the bus. That's his only option, bro. That's his only option, bro. He has to say that Jalen Hurts isn't doing the things that he needs him to do. He has to say Jalen Hurts isn't seeing the field. He has to do these things, bro. He has to do these things. He has to throw Jalen Hurts under the bus. That's his only option, bro. But the data says that maybe y'all just not a good fit, and before Jalen is gone, you'll be gone. That's just what that's what logic says. That's what return on investment say. Before I get rid of my Super Bowl MVP quarterback, my All-Pro Super Bowl MVP quarterback, I'll get rid of you, first-time offensive coordinator. I'll get rid of you. Like, to not run the ball on 3rd and 2, it's just simple shit. Like, you can run on 3rd and 2 sometime, bro. Run on 3rd and 2. You might pick it up, or you could get to 4th and inches where it makes sense to run a tush push. Nick was asked in front of millions, will he change the offense? His reply was no. So be prepared to see the same result till we're knocked off. I mean, he want to be terrible. And Nick has shown stubbornness like this before. During the collapse at 10-1, he did the same thing. It all starts at the top, LB. If Jeffrey Lurie or Howie won't step in, then what? No KP. We still have to deal with Nick goofy ass. Denial is a river in Africa. Go Birds. Yeah, Nick Sirianni, his stubbornness is just is uncanny, man. I will say this. I know the guy just won a Super Bowl. I know a lot of people who looking into our situation are saying the Eagles want to fire a Super Bowl winning coach a year after he won the Super Bowl. Yes, we won a Super Bowl, but we also was 10-1 and collapsed the year before. Yeah, our defense was bad and all of that. But if you collapse 2 out of 3 years, bro, something got to be said about you and how you prepare. Something got to be said about how you are engaging with these men. Something got to be said about how you are as a leader of men. Collapsing 2 out of 3 years is kind of wild, even though a Super Bowl is in between those 2 years. Now, this year ain't a collapse. I don't want to speak that as if that's what's going to happen, because I believe the Philadelphia Eagles will win playoff games this year. I believe we will win playoff games this year. I know what we really got under the hood, but you got to go through this adversity sometime. You got to go. AJ has been playing good back-to-back games. First time this year. I really haven't seen many issues of Jalen Hurts throwing the ball like everybody want to make it seem. I don't. My issue, bro, this is how bad the offense is, man. We're not even running with Jalen Hurts. There's very few design runs for a quarterback who has that in his pocket, bro. Jalen Hurts got that in his bag. That's in his bag of tricks, bro. Y'all wonder why Saquon Barkley not doing good, because there's not even no threat of Jalen Hurts running the ball this year. What type of offensive coordinator with Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley don't utilize the RPO and have design runs for Jalen Hurts more often? This is a novice at offensive coordinator that we're dealing with. But call me a sucker, call me whatever. I believe they're going to turn it around. I believe the minds and the players are in the building to do such. But I also believe that Nick Sirianni got to man up. This depends on Nick. This is not even a Kevin Patullo thing, bro. This depends on Nick Sirianni, man. Will Nick Sirianni promote change, or will he keep taking the podium saying he ain't doing nothing different? You ain't Andy Reid. You ain't Mike Tomlin. You can't talk that stubborn. You've been to 2 Super Bowls. You won one in the bowl. I get it, man. Listen, you one of the best quarterbacks. You one of the best coaches with win percentage there is in the league. But you can't talk like you're above changing things, like your system and the way you do things automatically work. You can't do that, bro. You can't do that, bro. You can't do that. Everybody is talking about getting 1% better, but you want to be, as the leader of this, stubborn and saying you're not changing nothing. That don't make no sense, bro. Pride will always crumble what you got going on good, man. But like I said, man, we're going to see where this thing shake up, man. We're going to see. We're going to see, man. We're going to see. We're going to see where this thing ends up. And I think it's going to end up where it's supposed to end up at, man. Thank y'all for tapping in, bro. I got more content all this week. We got a big one next Monday, man, and we got to be prepared for it in a week. We do. I'm going to get some guests on the show. We're going to talk about what's going on. It's going to be a really good eventful week, man. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to y'all. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. We're on the road to 35,000 subs. You know what I mean? All in due time, we're going to get there. But y'all know the vibes, man.
Niggas never been on saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on saying that I fell off. Niggas never been on saying that I fell off.